I was still holding the pie when my father told me not to come home again. Pumpkin. Still warm. The kind my mother insists needs extra nutmeg and a thin ribbon of maple syrup. Not too sweet, just enough to notice. I'd baked it the night before, packed it carefully, and driven 3 fog-heavy hours before sunrise to bring it. Thanksgiving. I was smiling when my dad said it. Return the 50,000, Nora, or don't come back. For half a second, I waited for a punchline. We don't do scenes over turkey. Not in this house. Not with company. Not with dishes still warm. Not with pie cooling on the counter like proof of effort. But no one laughed. Kayla sat with her hands folded in her lap the way people do at wakes. Owen studied the pattern on the tablecloth like it might explain how we'd gotten here. My mother wouldn't meet my eyes. Not once. I didn't sit down. The pie tin grew heavier in my hands, turning from aluminum into iron. My arms ached. My chest tightened. What are you talking about? I asked. Mom's account. Kayla said. Her mascara had gathered at the corners of her eyes, but her voice stayed flat. Practiced. 50,000 vanished last month, right after you set up her online banking. Yes, I had set it up, the app, the passwords, the security prompts. We'd written them together in the kitchen notebook, the blue one in the drawer. 4 weeks ago, I remembered exactly where my mother was standing, how she laughed when she forgot her own birthday and had to check her license, and now that same day had quietly become the day I robbed her. You think I stole from Mom? I said. Owen's jaw ticked. The bank says the withdrawals were online. No one else had access. I set the pie on the counter. The tin made a small, traitorous click when it touched a stone. I lifted my coat from the chair, swallowed the words that would have scorched a room, and walked out. No one stopped me. I didn't cry in the car. I drove until the road signs blurred into nothing familiar, pulled into a roadside motel, and checked in without making eye contact. The room smelled like old carpet and microwave popcorn. I sat on the bed and watched my hands shake. I'm 34 years old. I'm a senior forensic accountant. I spend my days following money through lies. So if my family had decided I was the thief, then I'd do what I do best. I'd follow the money. Morning snapped me awake before the alarm. The lobby. Coffee burned my tongue as I opened my laptop on the narrow desk. Money doesn't vanish. It just changes costumes. I started with Greenwell Mutual, Mom's bank, the same institution my team had flagged months earlier in a broader elder abuse pattern. 3 withdrawals jumped out immediately, each one just under the reporting threshold. Spaced carefully, like beads on a string, I messaged Theo in compliance. Name, date range, branch, technically confidential, fully within my clearance. Within an hour, he sent logs, teller notes, still frames. 3 withdrawals. Not online. In person, 20,000 on October 10th. 15 on the 15th. 15 more 5 days later. I clicked the footage. The pixel. Snow sharpened into a familiar posture. A young woman at the counter. Gray hoodie. Sunglasses. Ponytail pulled too tight. She tugged her mask down to speak. My breath paused. Kayla. Fidgeting the way she always does. Fingers tapping out a rhythm. Only she can hear. She handed over Mom's ID. Signed the slip. I recognized that hurried loop of her signature immediately. The next clip loaded. Owen, calm as a Tuesday, laughing with the teller, signing like the account was his. The third clip, Kayla again. Same hoodie, different sunglasses. They hadn't just taken the money. They'd built a story to fit around me. I pulled metadata from Mom's banking app. The first login after I left came from a tablet connected to the home Wi-Fi. A recovery email had been added. I didn't recognize the phone number tied to it. Owen's. I printed everything. Teller slips, timestamps, still frames, app logs. I slid them into a black presentation folder, the kind that says, "This is not a conversation. This is a record." By Monday afternoon, the light fell soft across the old street. I parked at the curb, folder heavy on my lap, and went inside. They were all in the kitchen again, same positions, like nothing had happened. I set the folder on the island, opened it, and placed the stills face up. You told me to return 50,000, I said. First, see where it went. Kayla stared at herself frozen at the teller window. Owen went pale when his image appeared. My mother's dish towel stopped mid-wipe. My father cleared his throat. Explain, he said. Withdrawals were in person, I said. October 10th, 15th, 20th. Teller logs and signatures. First and third are Kayla. Second is Owen. The online access came later from a tablet on the home Wi-Fi. Recovery email tied to Owen's phone. My mother sank into a chair. You let me think Nora did this, she said quietly. Kayla's chin trembled. You always get everything, she said. I thought if I looked guilty, you'd look better. You didn't fix a story, I said. You burned a bridge. Owen crossed his arms. She can afford it. It was never about money, I said. It was about trust. Silence gathered thick and uncomfortable. Finally, my father asked, Nora, what now? I'm not pressing charges, I said. But I sent everything to the family attorney. You'll choose the next steps. I'm done choosing for you. I closed the folder. And no one stopped me. Outside, the air smelled like rosemary and damp leaves. I drove back to Boston. I let the phone stay silent. Weeks later, I mailed my mother a flyer of financial protection for older adults and a short note. I'll save you a seat if you want. Her reply came as a porch photo of 3 kids in costumes. On the back, written carefully, we were wrong. I'm learning. I kept the line unframed. Some truths are lighter carried inside.